Glad to have you with us here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Tyler Jones here with you as we have some breaking news. A signing here on this Thursday. Gardner Minshew Mania, headed to Kansas City to be the new backup quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. Still waiting on some contract terms and details, but I would imagine that it's not going to be too much money as he is still owed some money from the Las Vegas Raiders after they moved on from him there. Let's tell you more about the newest member of the Kansas City Chiefs. Gardner Minshew, a former late-round pick out of Washington State, had a very good run with the Cougars, then ends up going to the Jags, ultimately was replaced by Trevor Lawrence after starting there for a few seasons, went on to Philadelphia, went to Indianapolis, and the best year of his career probably was in 2023 in Indy when he was a Pro Bowler that season, and they came very close to making the playoffs and made some noise that year. And then he spent this past year with the Las Vegas Raiders, ended his career record at 17-29 as a starting quarterback in the NFL is what he's looking at. The thing I like about Gardner Minshew, we all think about the swag, right? He looks like Uncle Rico out there. He's very well liked, well respected among his teammates. He's a good locker room guy. And I'll say this, Carson Wentz, although we didn't see a ton of him and didn't look great in that Denver Broncos game, there was some serious character concerns about Carson Wentz when they brought him in to be the backup quarterback for the Chiefs. And I look at Gardner Minshew, and it's the total opposite. I think everybody in the league would love to have a guy like Gardner Minshew as their backup quarterback. There's not going to be any problems that rise up at all when it comes to Gardner Minshew, what he is going to bring to the table and who he's going to be inside the locker room and all. So Gardner Minshew, he's started a lot of games. He's shown that he can be a capable backup in the past. And his stats aren't terrible for a backup quarterback either. I would say he's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the National Football League. So I think this is a pretty good signing for Kansas City to get Gardner Minshew here. How would you grade the signing of Gardner Minshew? It's our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Let us know what you think. A, B, C, D, or F. I'll give you my grade on the other side, but want to hear from you guys first. My grade, I'm going to go with an A here with Gardner Minshew. And we think about, okay, when would we potentially see Gardner Minshew outside of the preseason? It would be the worst-case scenario, right? If something, God forbid, were to happen to Patrick Mahomes, and whether it be in the regular season or a playoff game, and you ask yourself, okay, one-game situation, can I count on Gardner Minshew to keep this thing going, to be capable of getting the job done if something were to happen in a spot start here and there? And everything tells me that Gardner Minshew is more than capable if that opportunity presents itself where they need to call upon him and step in if something were to happen to Patrick Mahomes. That's the number one thing you ask of your backup quarterback. Can you get the job done if that situation were to present itself? And I would have no issues with Gardner Minshew if that were to happen. Now, obviously, we don't want Patrick to get hurt or anything like that, all right? But Gardner Minshew, I think, is more than capable of getting the job done. And we've seen in the past where guys like Chad Henne had to step up for Patrick Mahomes. And we all remember the Chad Henne's Hennessy moment against the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs a couple years ago when he came through for the Kansas City Chiefs. Gardner Minshew, if he was in that same situation, he would have done the exact same thing. So I think that Gardner Minshew is a good signing for this circumstance. The Chiefs will be in good shape with him as their backup quarterback. Folks, no signing is too big or too small for us to cover here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Even when you get a new backup quarterback, we're talking about it here on the channel. We are covering it from every single angle here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We are closing in on 70,000 subscribers. We're just over 100 away from reaching that next milestone. If you love the Kansas City Chiefs, this is the channel for you. You got to be subscribed. Turn on notifications. That way you're the first to know when we have breaking news, when we bring you a video, whether I'm here in the studio or I'm bringing an update at home from the Jones Zone, whatever it may be. We got you covered here, the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Subscribe now for free. Stay up to date with everything you need to know on your Kansas City Chiefs throughout the entire offseason. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. Last season, Gardner Minshew was brought to Las Vegas for a quarterback competition with AOC. He ultimately won the starting job, but it wasn't a great campaign for Gardner Minshew this past year. Just 9 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Did have completion percentage of 66% with over 2,000 yards passing. QBR was not too hot at 38.3, but you're not asking him to start 10 games. You're asking him to be your backup quarterback. And we have seen some good with Gardner Minshew. You go back to 2023 when he started 13 games and helped overachieve that Indianapolis Colts team, nearly making the postseason after Anthony Richardson got hurt. He threw for 15 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, threw for over 3,300 yards that season with a 62.2% completion percentage. And he had some spot starts in Philly. I think the 2021 run was very solid for what he did, filling in for Jalen Hurts there in that campaign with a 68.3% completion percentage, 439 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Gardner Minshew, this career for him has been one that's been full of peaks and valleys, but coming to Kansas City, this is going to be arguably the best situation he's ever been in when being a backup quarterback, and the weapons that are there, the talent that's around him, he'll be set up for success here in Kansas City, and I think he'll do a pretty decent job. What's your one-word reaction to the signing of Gardner Minshew? I'll give you my one-word reaction coming up in just a moment, but want to hear from you guys first what that one word is. Is the one word mania? Is it something else out there? I'll give you a different word. I'm not going to use mania, but I'll give you a word in just a moment. I want to hear from you guys first of what that one-word reaction is. My one word, I'm going to go capable. He is capable, and that's the number one thing that you could ask for of your backup quarterback. Can he be capable of getting the job done? And I think he certainly can do that for this Kansas City Chiefs team if they need him to step in a potential situation where he needs to step up, that Gardner Minshew is capable of getting the job done. That's what you're looking for. And as I look at the other backup quarterbacks across the National Football League, there is, I would say, a shortage on quality backups across the NFL. And if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you got to be feeling pretty good about having Gardner Minshew here, that he is capable, that he can get the job done compared to other teams around the league that if their starting quarterback goes down, their season is virtually over. I'm not saying that Gardner Minshew can lead this Chiefs team to a Super Bowl by any stretch of the imagination, but if something happens to Patrick Mahomes, your season is not officially over going to Gardner Minshew. You still have a fighting chance. Now, your chances obviously get hurt quite a bit, but you still have a chance nonetheless, and I think that's big for Kansas City here. Got a great deal for Chiefs fans. Polos are on sale now for up to 50% off at chatsports.com/Chiefs Polos. We have the red, we got the gray, we got the stripes, all sorts of different polos to choose from. The link is in the comments and description of today's video, chatsports.com/Chiefs Polos. We also have plenty of other Chiefs merchandise for your liking as well. Go check it out, chatsports.com/Chiefs Polos to get yours today. Let's catch you up to speed on the free agency tracker for the Kansas City Chiefs of all the signings they've made so far to this point. The Chiefs kicked off free agency by placing the franchise tag on Trey Smith, keeping him around on a one-year, $23.4 million deal, a big win for Brett Veach. Then, shortly after the news broke of Xavier Worthy's arrest, they ended up re-signing Hollywood Brown to a new one-year, $11 million deal. He missed most of this season, struggled to stay healthy, obviously, but did look pretty decent in those final 2 games he did play. You get the heart and soul of your defense back. Nick Bolton returns on a 3-year, $45 million deal with $30 million guaranteed, one of the very best in the NFL at his position. The Chiefs have a new starting left tackle in Jalen Moore. He has experience at both the guard and the tackle spot, did a really good job filling in for Trent Williams last year. You get him on a 2-year, $30 million deal with $21.24 guaranteed. Other signings, Elijah Mitchell comes over from San Francisco as well on a 1-year, $3.5 million deal to back up Isaiah Pacheco. Long snapper James Winchester returns on a 1-year, $1.65 million deal. Christian Fulton at the corner position, very good zone corner, going to provide some flexibility for the corner position. There's already talk that Trip McDuffie could be moving back to the nickelback position potentially to have Fulton as well as Watson be your starting outside corners. Robert Tonyan comes in at the tight end spot. He was on the Chiefs practice squad at the end of the season, and that gives the Chiefs about 4 tight ends on their roster. And then a couple others for you. Cole Christensen at the linebacker position returns. Mahomes and Chris Jones each restructured their respective deals. And then Gardner Minshew, the most recent signing on a 1-year deal, still waiting on some final terms there as he will be the backup quarterback. Final thoughts on this, I'll put it this way. I am all here for Minshew Mania, folks. I think it's going to be fun to see Gardner Minshew around. He's well-liked, he's well-respected, and I think he's going to be a good backup for the Kansas City Chiefs team. And it should be a lot of fun to see what he can potentially do. Hopefully, he holds the clipboard and we don't have to see him this season. But if something were to happen, I have full faith and confidence in Gardner Minshew that he can be one of the best backups in the league based on his track record, what he's done. Appreciate you joining us here at the Kansas City Chiefs Report. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now for the latest happenings on your favorite team all offseason long. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.